Hello, it's me again. Hi, hello. I know it's been a while. I'm back with another film review thing. This will be kind of a update video slash film thing. I'm gonna do 2 months this time, March and April. Because I missed the last one. Anyway, if you want to skip to my film review, press the thing on the screen. It's probably somewhere on the screen right now. I don't know. I'm pointing with my hands, but you probably can't see that. And if not, I'm basically gonna do a short little update thing. It's been a while. I said in my previous video that I'll make some more updates soon, kind of a meme thing. But seriously, I will. It's just a case of I've been quite busy because it's the last kind of few months of the university first year. So I'm busy doing essays and projects and stuff, so I haven't really had time to make videos. However, everything finishes on May the 15th. May the 15th is when I'll start, getting on it. It's when I'll start making more videos, higher quality videos. I might even make some top 10s, some film reviews. I want to make some really high quality shit over the summer, because I have all the time in the world to. So I'm really sorry that I haven't actually uploaded recently. I know it sounds like, very cliche. Oh, look at me, I haven't uploaded in a while. Part fucking 1 of 100. I will try and make more content soon. Considering the amount of, subscribers that I have now, I feel like it's stupid to not kind of act on this. I feel like you guys want to see some of my content. Thank you to everyone who's been so supportive over the past couple of months who were like, oh, I actually like your content. Thanks, I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to know that there are people who like my shit posts. But yeah, honestly, in the end, thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel. I know, you kind of were told to subscribe here, and I know some of you aren't really as active as you should, but honestly, I don't mind that. As long as anyone just watches, talks, or shares my videos, I appreciate every single bit of it. Again, if you want to see me on a more regular scale, follow my Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I'm always live streaming. Well, I mean, I haven't actually been live streaming recently, but I will be live streaming a lot during the summer. It's a thing that I want to get into more. I feel like it's a much better thing to get a career in, other than YouTube, even though I'm not really looking to get a career in any of those, to be honest. I'm just really looking to have fun, but if ever I wanted to do something in the long term, which might be the case, I'd want to go onto Twitch, because at the moment, YouTube isn't really the best place to be for making a long-term career. But in the end, I just want to make videos out of the fun of making videos, really. I don't care about getting money, I don't care about doing any of that. I just want to do it because it's fun, and that's all that really matters in the end. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start on the films. I'll have one section per film where I'll explain the film in a non-spoilery manner, and then I will explain the film spoilers. You can kind of cut to each part. I'll have a timestamp on the video, basically being like, if you don't like spoilers, cut at this part and you'll see the next film. I'll also have timestamps in the description if you want to see any specific films, or if you want to skip certain films. It's all there in the description. I've put extra effort into this, don't you worry. So the first film I saw back in March was Red Sparrow. It was a interesting film, to say the least. I can't really remember much of what happened. It's just another Jennifer Lawrence film. It felt a lot like Hunger Games. It had the same, I think, director, cinematographer as Hunger Games Catching Fire, and also Jennifer Lawrence just made it feel very Hunger Games-y. It was really interesting. The writing was a bit kind of convoluted. I'll explain most of that later, but I mean, the cinematography is nice. There are a few really good shots. The locations are quite nice. The acting is okay, but it's a solid film. It's not perfect. It's not horrible. It's just there in the middle. Talking about spoilers, I think the ending was a bit kind of annoying, mainly because I didn't really understood it. It's a case where she kind of double-crossed some double-crossing. There's a lot of double-crossing. There's a fucking whole lot of double-crossing in this film. Even my mates who really like film didn't understand what was going on half the time, because a lot of the writing is really convoluted. In the end, she double-crosses her father, who double-crossed her, and it's just fucking, I don't even know at this point. The ending was kind of a bit, anticlimactic. pretty much it. Anyway, after Red Sparrow, I watched Moon, which was a very interesting film. I really liked Moon. I gave it quite a good score, as you'll probably see at the end of this video. It's just a really fucking well-made film. I love sci-fi films with a lot of kind of philosophical understandings. I love the kind of concept of the film. The twist was really nice. The locations were nice, the special effects are nice. It's just overall a really good film. I just recommend you watch it without any spoilers. I don't wanna spoil it for you, but it's just one of those films where you kind of have to watch it again because that a lot of stuff happens. The cinematography is wonderful, sound design fucking fantastic, the acting is superb. Loved it. Talking about spoilers, the twist is alright. It's really interesting. It's my kind of twist. It's a twist of like, oh, he was being cloned this whole time, and that he wants like to actually go back to Earth because in the end he's stuck on the moon. That's a really nice twist. I like that kind of, you know, argument some films kind of bring in, like in Inception or other films like that, where you kind of have to question your reality. Is everything real or not? I love texts that do that, where kind of reality is tested, and kind of studied in a very intense way. It just makes you it makes you feel smart, I guess. It makes you feel a bit smart, but that's about it really. Moon. After that, I watched Seven Psychopaths, which, in my opinion, is my favourite Martin McDonagh film. I know it's a bit weird. I know In Bruges is a fucking brilliant film. I love In Bruges, even though I only watched it recently. Three Billboards, again, one of the best films that came out last year. Really liked Three Billboards. Christopher Walken is fucking brilliant in this film. He's just peak Christopher Walken. I can't really discuss spoilers really in this one because there's nothing really to spoil. It's about a guy who's basically trying to get a script about 7 psychopaths and the kind of hijinks that happen. It's another Martin McDonagh film, but I felt like I enjoyed it more than In Bruges and Three Billboards. It was very enjoyable. The characters really stood out. The characters were just really interesting. The comedy in the film is superb. All I can really say is just watch it. If you're a fan of In Bruges, if you're a fan of Three Billboards, definitely watch Seven Psychopaths. You'll have a great time, honestly. After that, I actually watched Martin McDonagh's first film, Six Shooter. It's a short film, with the same guy who was in Bruges. I forgot his name. The Irish guy. The guy who was also in Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, who I completely forgot the name of. I don't even know. I'll probably put the name on the fucking screen or something. But it's him, and it's basically on a train most of the time, and it's interesting. It's an interesting first film. It's like the first kind of, you know, first film of a director that I've seen, and it was really interesting. It was really interesting. It made me kind of you know, compare my films as a student to like his films in the end. I thought they were really good. I thought it was a good film. It was interesting. There was a bit about a cow who gets a lot of wind and blows up, and it's very kind of Martin McDonagh, but I liked it. It was good. It was interesting. Afterwards, I watched Memento, which was, I think, one of Nolan's first films. I know it wasn't his first, but it's like one of his first. Which I loved. I loved Memento. Holy shit. It's just the Nolan film that I've always wanted to kind of see, because, I mean, Dark Knight is, like, one of my favourite films, so is Inception, so I'm a huge fucking Nolan fan, if you didn't understand that already from watching my previous videos, but, yeah, Memento, holy shit. It's just interesting. I love the kind of narrative style that Nolan has decided to kind of experiment, which has gone on, in the future, as a kind of classic storytelling thing, of basically him, the protagonist, basically living his life from the beginning of the beginning of the film is the end, and then the end of the film is the beginning, if you know what I mean. Which is really interesting, and I thought, Nolan would have been quite pretentious with how he did this. I thought it would have been quite, complex, but no, it was easy to understand. I loved it. It just had a load of, like, Nolan quirks in it with kind of use of cinematography, writing, narrative. It was just really smart, and I just loved watching it. It was definitely a Nolan film that I wish I saw earlier. When it comes to spoilers for this film, I really liked the kind of plot twist at the end where, the killer has been dead this whole time and he's just been killing loads of other people. I thought that was really interesting. It's one of, like, the first plot twists where I'm like, actually, yeah, that was pretty good. That was a pretty decent plot twist. I like that, because it made sense. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I understand that. I liked it. It was a good plot twist. The Incredibles I watched, I rewatched, actually. It's been a while since I've seen The Incredibles, since I was a kid, really, and it still holds up to be a beautiful animation. I love The Incredibles. It's one of my favourite Disney films, or is it Pixar? I'm not fucking sure. I don't really know. I should really do research for this stuff, but I just don't. Like me and mates were watching it as kind of a we met up and watching Incredibles. We all said the whole Frozone line when that happened, and it was great. We're a bit tipsy, but fuck. Incredibles still holds up today as just a really fun family animation film. And it's still enjoyable. The jokes still hold up. They're still funny. The action is still really, really good. Yeah. Afterwards, I saw a bit of Lake Placid. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this film, Lake Placid. It's a weird film. It's one of those, like, B-movie horrors. It's about, like, a lake where there's a giant crocodile that kills, but basically just a shitty rip-off of Jaws, but it's a crocodile, really. Yeah, it has the same guy from Six Shooter and Goblet of Fire, who I still forgot the name of. I don't know. Fuck, he's Irish. I don't know his name. I'm so annoyed at myself. Could probably Google it, but I mean, why would I? Yeah. Lake Placid, it's just a B-movie horror. I didn't really give it that much. I didn't really watch most. I wasn't really interested in it. It was funny at some points for being, a B-movie horror, but that's literally it. I mean, watch it if you like B-movie horrors, but other than that, yeah, I guess. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is a film that I watched afterwards. It's a very interesting Marvel film. It's one of the better ones. Has really good action. Some of the best action scenes in some Marvel films. The writing's really good. It really helps, like, set me up for actually understanding most of, because I think Black Panther, Infinity War was about to come out, and I was like, I need to rewatch Winter Soldier. It's on Netflix. I should do that. It's a good film. I really, really like it. It's one of the as I said, it's one of the better Marvel films. And that's pretty much it. It's not, like, the best. I mean, I'll explain it later, but it's just an overall okay Marvel film. I really can't explain it any more than that. Game Night was a interesting film, very interesting. I thought, like, I had low expectations going into it, and then I kind of came out of it thinking, actually, that was a lot better than I thought it was. The comedy I thought would be a bit shit. It was actually quite funny at times. I really liked it. The cinematography was really good for an odd reason. I don't know why the cinematography for Game Night was so good. There was a lot of kind of Edgar Wright style editing, cinematography styles, which were really out of place, but in a good way. It was nice to see kind of a breath of fresh air of good cinematography in a not so good comedy. Well, I mean, it wasn't bad, but, like, it was mediocre. I liked it. It was surprising. Jesse Plemons was in the film. He was funny. There was a few shots of, like, him being a kind of creepy neighbor where the camera would kind of pan, and then he'd just be in the shot. That was really funny. There was a few like cinematography or film convention jokes, because the protagonists are, like, huge film nerds. Where, like, a villain would be basically plunged through a glass table and then the table wouldn't break, and then one of the characters like, damn, that's a sturdy table, which just really made me laugh at the time. I thought it was quite funny. I mean, narratively, yeah, I mean, you can kind of expect the ending from a mile away. It doesn't, you know, it's not fucking The Post level of writing. It's just a fun comedy movie that I enjoy watching. It was enjoyable. Annihilation was a fucking really, really interesting film that I didn't really understand. I felt like what I really needed to do for Annihilation was read the books, because I have a mate who read the books and he saw the film. I was like, I get it. But I think one of the parts of Annihilation is you're not so really supposed to get it. There are so many theories going around of what Annihilation could mean, what like Annihilation means as a film. And to be honest, I, watching it, did not understand. It really put me off the film because I didn't really understand it. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I mean, a lot of my friends as well didn't really understand the film, which is fair. Like, I've seen some theories like, oh, the film is a representation of what cancer is on Earth, like it's a representation for cancer, which is kind of interesting. I'd watch the film though. It's interesting. If you liked Ex Machina, you might like this film. It's got the same kind of directorial style, same director, same kind of cinematography. There's one moment in the film where there's this spoiler territory. There's this bear who basically kills one of the characters and uses the character's scream as a way to taunt the characters, which is fucking horrifying. Like, imagine dying and having your scream being used as bait. The design of the bear was actually terrifying. There's a bit where they're all kind of sat in chairs, silent, and the bear's just there, like, walking around, because I think, like, it can only sense movement or something, or hearing, or whatever. I don't know, it was fucking horrifying, but I loved it. It was probably the reason why I'd see the film in the first place, because of just how terrifying that bear was. It was a good horror. Good horror. I really liked it. Then there was Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. Fuck. Okay. I did not like this film. I did not like Tomb Raider at all. It started off quite well. I liked, it has a kind of London bike chase scene at the beginning. Didn't really mean anything to Tomb Raider, for Tomb Raider. Apparently, Lara Croft is kind of lower class in this. She, isn't really part of her daddy's estate. She's just kind of doing her own thing. She's independent, which is okay, kind of an independent woman stereotype is okay to see. But the film just kind of doesn't really go anywhere. There's one part of it which is when she's escaping some bad guys and going down a waterfall and grabbing onto a plane. It's in the trailer, which is a decent maybe 10-minute section, which basically is a recreation of what you would see in the modern Tomb Raider games. It's basically it's literally a scene that you'd see in one of the games. It's without any quotes on events, which is kind of cool. I like it. It's interesting to kind of see how she struggles and all that. It's really interesting. That's a siren going off in the background. I apologize for that. I mean, the acting is okay. The writing is basic at best, but then you get into the section where she actually gets into the tomb, and there is a fuck ton of jump scares in this whole tomb section. For an action film, there is a fuck ton of jump scares, and I hate it. I hate it. They're cheap jump scares as well, and I fucking hate jump scares with a passion, because of previous trauma, which I'll probably go into at a later date. It isn't anything big, but it's just a case of I don't like loud sudden noises, and yeah, it just has a load of fucking awful cheap jump scares. And other than that, it's just an average film. But I didn't really like it. It's just basic. Kind of made me angry when I came out of it. I'm just like, well, that was, exhausting. That's what it is. It's just an exhausting film. Afterwards, me and my mate, we rented out this kind of cinema room in our university, and we watched Dirty Harry. That is the original Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood. It was an interesting film. I've never really seen a film like it. I don't really watch a lot of old cinema, which I should probably get into at some point. But it was very cheesy. It was very 70s cheesy, and I loved that. There's a bit where when the villain basically hijacks a bus, and one of the kids is like, "Oh no! Oh, where are you taking us?" And he fucking slaps the shit out of this kid, and it's just the cheesiest, funniest thing. We had to like go back at the end of the film and just rewatch that bit, and we just burst into laughter. It was fucking fantastic. But other than that, it's just a alright action film. I liked it. It was before kind of a action narrative structure came about, so there was a lot of weird narrative takes that I've never seen a film do before, but that's because I haven't really seen old cinema as much as I should. But yeah, Clint Eastwood is great. His kind of line of well, do ya? Punk is just it's just really fucking fun. It's just a fun film to watch. If you haven't seen the original Dirty Harry, I'd recommend it. Yeah. Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is a Guillermo del Toro film that I haven't seen yet. And I watched it with kind of the intention of watching Uprising afterwards, and boy, was I glad that I didn't watch Uprising afterwards. Apparently, Uprising is shite. Apparently. Haven't seen it, but yeah. Pacific Rim, though, the first one, is a good monster film. I really, really liked it. Charlie Day was probably my favourite character, because I fucking love Charlie Day. I love Idris Elba. It's just a fucking fun action film, where it's just loads of robots punching fucking giant kaiju monsters. Basically, like, imagine Cloverfield if, like, Cloverfield was more of a fun summer blockbuster action film. Because, boy, I just love the shit out of that concept. And it's really sad that Toro wasn't able to make the second one. Apparently, according to like my knowledge, he wasn't actually able to do it. They didn't allow him to do it, and he had like loads of lore and like understanding of what he would do for a second film. Like apparently he made up loads of different kaijus. The one which is like made up of Mexican convicts and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh, I would have loved to see that. And then we got Pacific Rim Uprising, which apparently is a shite film, but Pacific Rim as a standalone robot beating film is, I mean, don't actually, not beating robots like beating them off, but I mean beating, you know what I mean. It's a fun action film, and I really recommend it if you have the chance to. Now we're getting on to April, which is when I saw Ready Player One. Okay. I'm going to talk about this for a while. Ready Player One, the film, was an interesting film, which I never want to see again. It is an interesting film from the standpoint of someone who's read the books. I have read the books, and the film appears to not kind of go... It kind of follows a general narrative of what the books did, but it misses out on a lot of stuff that the books did right. I mean, I did enjoy it. It was a fucking fun film. Like, there's a bit where the first kind of Easter egg is a race scene, as you see in the trailer, which is just really well done. I think it's like a one-shot throughout the whole thing, and it's just really, really fun. See, there's a lot of CGI, but to be honest, it was really well done CGI. It was fun to watch. Yeah, like I'd recommend watching it if you want to watch a really, really fun kind of Spielberg action film with, you know, lots of video game references. If I was 13, I would have fucking adored this film. That's all I can really say. But now I'm gonna go into spoiler territory. So what's basically gonna happen is I'm gonna kind of compare this film to the book, because there is a lot to really say about this film in comparison to the book. The first kind of praise I'd give the film is I liked how it dealt with the third key compared to the book. In the book, it was basically just the three characters coming together and being like, oh, with the power of friendship, we can deal with this. But no, I liked how in the film they used adventure as the main kind of manner of giving, like, the final key, because it would make sense. Of course, adventure was the first game with the first Easter egg. That's what most gamers would understand, and I thought that was really interesting. I liked that. I also liked the second key, the shining thing, even though it's kind of a bit cheesy and a bit kind of off. and you know, it was a bit kind of not cliche. It was just a bit off, really. But I liked it because I think Spielberg did a fucking brilliant effort on recreating the sets from The Shining. I personally have never seen The Shining. I really need to do that, but I really like the effort that Spielberg put into doing the sets. But I feel like I can understand why a lot of people are kind of upset at the whole Shining section, because in the end it was very, you know, it didn't really fit the tone of the film. But the main thing I didn't really like about this film was the case of the film basically takes place over the span of a week, when in the book the kind of action takes place over the span of maybe I think like 1 or 2 years, which would make more sense. The pacing in the film was really off. It's really off. Him and Artemis kind of break up and then are literally back together in literally a day, which doesn't make any sense, like, at all, like, from a character point of view. I don't like how they kidnap him and they take him to this, oh, look, we're a resistance. I don't like it. I don't like how there was kind of a physical resistance in this film. It didn't really make sense. It felt very kind of Hollywood action blockbustery, and I didn't really like that. I didn't like that Shaito, or was it Daito? I don't know. One of them dies in the books, and I would have liked it if one of them died in the film, but I think, you know, we had to kind of appeal to the kids here. I didn't like how Artemis was the one that kind of, basically put herself into IOI as kind of an espionage thing. I would have preferred if Wade did that, but then again, thinking about it, if they went into detail with, I don't know, the breakup being, like, worth months, the whole Wade doing espionage shit, him basically travelling to Columbus and living in his own flat and, you know, trying to find the key from then on, the film would have been way more than 2.5 hours, and it already drags on quite a bit. So that's why, like, I feel like I don't want to watch it again, because in the end I would have just been a lot more annoyed about what it didn't do with the book material. Yeah. Anyway, coming on to the best film of these 2 months, Isle of Dogs, which is Wes Anderson's new film, and I fucking loved this film. The animation is on point. I fucking adore the comedy that comes from the animation, the writing. I love how just quirky it is. I fucking like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Was a film originally that I really enjoyed as a kid. I need to watch it again, to be honest. But Isle of Dogs left me smiling throughout the whole film. I fucking adored Isle of Dogs. The cast was superb. Jeff Goldblum, Bryan Cranston, Bill Murray, Frances McDormand. Like, fuck. It was just a really well done animation. I understand why some people think that it might be kind of cultural appropriation. At times it was a bit uncomfortable as a Japanese film, but I don't think that. I don't think that, like, it's really cultural appropriation. I mean, this is like a fucking huge hornet's nest, which I really don't want to get into, but I believe that if a director has a vision which could include the culture of a different country that they're not native to, they should be allowed to do that, because in the end it is their vision. I don't really see the film as racist at all. I see the characters as being quirky and interesting, but then again, I'm not Japanese, so I don't know. I don't understand how it could be seen as racist, but as a fucking cis white guy, God, that sounds fucking awful, I liked the film. I didn't think it was bad. I don't understand the amount of backlash that's coming towards it being racist. It's just a fucking really well-made film with beautiful animation. The soundtrack was fucking superb. Like, there's a scene where it's kind of a montage of them, like, walking. I forgot the name of the song, but it's just fucking it's just so emotional. It's just there's so much emotion put into this one animation. It's just so quirky and nice, and it's just so visually appealing. And I just love Japanese culture, I guess. I'm not a fucking weeaboo or anything, but I just appreciate, like, Japanese culture. Like they have, like, in the beginning, they have, like, the kind of drums and the sumo wrestling. It's just like, I think there's one part which is like a montage of, like, them, like, making sushi, and it's just like, fuck, it's good film. It's fucking, go watch it. If you're gonna watch any film at all now, watch Isle of Dogs. Seriously, it is, you will fucking adore it. Afterwards, I decided to watch Bottle Rocket, which was Wes Anderson's film. Same as going and watching Martin McDonagh's Six Shooter earlier on last month. It was interesting. It has Owen Wilson, and Owen Wilson in the film is pretty okay. It's Owen Wilson. He was good in the film. It's interesting to see kind of a young Owen Wilson. He's one of my favourite actors. He's just fun to watch. It's a fun, quirky film. It doesn't really have the kind of Wes Anderson style. The Wes Anderson style hasn't really, become pretentious enough. I mean, it's not really pretentious, but it's like it hasn't really developed enough. But you can kind of still get this kind of Wes Anderson style humour within the film, which was kind of nice. I kind of like that. But it doesn't really have much else. I did kind of feel a bit bored during the film. The writing was kind of so the pacing was a bit off. But other than that, yeah, I mean, if you want to watch Wes Anderson's first film, Bottle Rocket, go do it. It's interesting. It's an interesting film to kind of see, Wes Anderson before his heyday. After that, I watched American Psycho. It recently came onto Netflix, and I was like, hey, I haven't seen American Psycho, so I might as well. It was, again, an interesting film. It gave me a lot of Fight Club vibes, the kind of early 2000s. It has, kind of a deep, argument on capitalism and upclasses, which was kind of nice. The acting by Christian Bale, fucking superb. Actually superb. The scenes where he's, gonna kill someone, and he talks about, Huey Lewis in the news, fucking... Everyone who's an actor should probably take that film and those scenes if they ever want to be a serial killer and just look at that. Look at just the fucking amazing acting. I just had a smile on my face throughout most of the film. It's interesting. The pacing, it's alright. It doesn't really have a soundtrack that's big apart from Huey Lewis in the news and another guy from I keep forgetting names. I'm awful. I'm actually awful today. I apologize. But anyway, American Psycho, interesting. I recommend watching it. I did enjoy watching it. It's interesting to kind of see how films treated psychopaths in a pre 9/11 state. It's cool, and the acting again, as I said, is superb. Okay, now we're gonna get on to Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Holy shit. Avengers Infinity War. Yes. Fuck yes. Holy shit. I don't know how to really explain this film without spoiling. If you haven't seen the film, I'd recommend watching it. If you're not a Marvel fan, you might not like it, because in the end it is basically only Marvel characters doing Marvel stuff. It doesn't really have a 3-act structure. It's literally just fighting throughout the whole film, which is okay, but I wouldn't recommend watching it if you're not a Marvel fan. If you're a Marvel fan, fucking go watch this film right now. It's great. It literally is the culmination of 10 years worth of films just put together into this perfect kind of mesh of shit that's just good. The acting is really good. The characters are really fleshed out. Thanos is what is now my favourite villain, because they basically flesh him out to the point where he's basically one of the biggest parts of the film. He's not like in Justice League where, it's just a CGI fucking character. Oh, look at me, I'm gonna kill one. No, Thanos is a character that you understand. You love to hate him. I think 300 million was put onto this film, which was the same amount as Justice League, and you can definitely see where each penny has gone on this film compared to Justice League, and for good reason too. I think, as saying this, it is now the biggest opening weekend for any film ever, surpassing, I think, The Force Awakens back in 2016 or 15, I can't really remember. So now I'm gonna get onto spoiler territory. So I'm going to let you just leave or click onto the next film in 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, spoilers for Infinity War. Okay, I fucking loved what they did with Infinity War. I love that Thanos has sorry, not three extra. I love how Thanos has a hero's journey. I fucking love Thanos. He is one of my favourite characters now. He actually goes through a journey throughout the film. He's actually the protagonist of the film, and you love to hate him. Like, I actually, at the end of the film, when it cuts to the credits, I had a fucking huge grin on my face, because I was like, yes, holy fuck. Fucking Marvel have just done something interesting. They've done something different. I love that. I fucking love that. They've fucking done it, lads. Absolute fucking mad, lads. They've just gone and fucking done it. Anyway, I feel like, the characters that they killed, Gamora, Loki, and Idris Elba, and who's the other one? Vision. I can't even remember Vision. God, that's how much of a fucking. I don't really like his character. I think they were fine. It was fine in killing them. Gamora was one of probably the weakest member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, so I don't really mind that she's dead. Vision, I really don't care for Vision. Heimdall or Idris Elba. I don't know any of the characters in Thor other than Thor himself, so. And Loki, that's really all I can really say for that. And Loki, of course, dying. I thought that was a really, really good decision. It really helped instantly put an audience into the perspective of, holy shit, there are stakes in this film. And I love that, because my main gripe with Marvel films is that there are no stakes. And then you go into the film, first 10 minutes, you're like, holy shit, they've fucking done it, lads. Oh, clap, fucking, oh, yeah, they've done it. They fucking done it, lads. They've gone, been like, hey, you know how we didn't have any stakes? Well, there you go. Loki's dead. Good on you. For a fucking film with 40 characters, they really did it well. They really just managed to show off each character in a fucking really, really good way. I feel attached to each character, apart from maybe Scarlet Witch, Vision, but. Because I didn't really like that bit of the film. That bit of the film was kind of a bit off, really. That was kind of the low point in the film. Where I'm just like, I don't really care much for Scarlet Witch, to be honest. It's just kind of a bit shit, really. I liked how Peter Dinklage was there. You know what I'm saying. I like how Peter Dinklage was in the film. He was fun. He was interesting. I fucking do love a cheeky bit of Peter Dinklage in my life. Yeah, it's just good. It's good. The final shot where he's like looking into the distance into the sunset was fucking it. That was it for me. That was the point where I'm like, fuck, I love this film. That was the bit where I'm like, I fucking adore this film. He's like, oh, he basically said that. He said that in the film, and then he goes off and does it. The absolute mad lad. I just love how the film is basically non-stop fighting. It's different, it's unique, but they still manage to show off each character. The fucking comedy in the film is brilliant. Dave Bautista as Drax, he fucking nails it in this film. He is perfect. Dave Bautista, fucking well done. Well fucking done. As for the main spoiler, being the people who die, I don't know. I think you have to be kind of a bit naive to think that the people who basically faded away into the dust are going to stay dead. Because knowing Marvel, knowing that there's another Spider-Man film coming out, another Guardians of the Galaxy, another Black Panther, another Doctor Strange film coming out, you know that they're definitely going to revive a lot of those characters. And because they've like announced the convention of, well, the Infinity Gauntlet using a fucking time stone, a reality stone, being able to fucking bend reality and time, of course they're gonna fucking revive like some people. That's just how it works. It's a two-parter. That's how they're gonna do it. I would like it if maybe the people who survive right now, because at the moment you just have the original Avengers. You have Tony Stark, Captain America, Hulk, Thor surviving. I'd like it if there was like kind of a swap. I'd like it if there was kind of a Avengers reassemble kind of thing, where it's the new Avengers kind of coming together, you know, Spider-Man, Black Panther, all the new people. That would be nice. I'd like it. I'd like that. That would be really interesting. As for the characters dying, I know, and it's just a case of, yeah, they're gonna survive. It's a two-parter. I'd like it if maybe in the second Spider-Man film, if they do end up killing Tom Holland, that they use Miles Morales as Spider-Man. That would be kind of interesting, because Peter Parker is he's gonna be none to shit, but oh well. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it, but the ending was kind of a bit off. If it was just if it was the final film of Marvel, if it was the final MCU film, and they weren't going to make any other films after it, I would have been fucking happy. I would have been like, Marvel, you've done it, you've jumped the shark, and you survived. You risked it, it's good. It's good, you've done it. You've finally proven to us that you have stakes. That's it. Anyway, after a recommendation, I watched The Polka King, which is a Netflix film with Jack Black as a Polish man singing polka. It was a fun Jack Black film. I haven't actually seen much of Tenacious D, really. I should probably get onto that. But, I mean, if you like Jack Black and you like polka and you like Jack Black singing and just a fun film, yeah, it's alright. I mean, I have a few nitpicks. I thought it was quite slow. I thought there was a lot of boring bits. It was quite kind of quirky in a cinematography point of view, but I think Netflix films are usually quite quirky. It was nice in the case of it. It didn't really feel like a kind of Netflix film that was decided by the almighty algorithm. It was interesting. Yeah. No, if you like Jack Black, then yeah, watch The Polka King. But I mean, I didn't really think it was a fucking stunning film like Futile and Stupid Gesture, which is still in my top films of this year. But yeah, anyway, that's my top films from March and April. I really hope you enjoyed them. The scores of each film is probably on the screen right now. If you want to follow my Twitter, if you want to subscribe to my Twitch, or follow my Twitch, I've actually got subscriber emotes now for my Twitch. You can now subscribe and do all that. Other than that, I really hope that you guys have a really nice few months, and I will start making content as soon as I possibly can. Anyway, it's been really nice seeing all of you, and it's been really nice making this video. It's definitely been a nice change from doing essays and shit. So, hope you all have a lovely, lovely May, and I'll see you next time.